Introducing Business Tech Guide, where business and tech meets endless possibilities. Join us whilst we explore the latest updates in the world of business and technology. Do not miss out. Hello and welcome to Business Tech Guide, where business and tech meets endless possibilities. This is your go-to source for the latest updates in the world of business and technology. I'm your host, Nadia Chantal, and this show is sponsored by Tendo Technologies, and we're diving straight into our first segment, Tech in Brief. Tech in Brief. Firstly, JumiaPay has appointed Anthony Mbagu as its new managing director. Coming from fintech rival PalmPay, Anthony brings over 15 years of experience in financial services. Under his leadership, the company aims to grow its market share and focus on profitability. Furthermore, RPAS, once a Nigerian e-commerce startup, has obtained a microfinance banking license. The company plans to offer business banking services to large corporations, combining the stability of traditional banking with the efficiency and customer experience of fintech. Lastly, Nigeria is pushing for public institutions to use electronic communication for official correspondence, contracts, and legal matters. The proposed National Digital Economy and E-Governance Bill aims to boost digital literacy and efficiency across the country. That's all we have today for our Tech in Brief segment. A lovely thanks to our sponsor, Tendo Technologies. We'll be taking a brief break, and when we return, we'll dive straight into our innovator interview segment. Stay tuned.
Tendo, based in Ghana, a platform for individuals to resell products using social media.
My name is Felix. I am the CEO of Tendo. Tendo is a platform that enables anyone in Africa to start an online store with zero capital.
Tendo is a social commerce app for resellers. The platform has built a network of suppliers and then handles the fulfillment when an order is placed. For the resellers, after identifying the products they want to sell through Tendo's app, they can add a markup on the wholesale price, which is their profit, and they use social media to sell to their community.
They would find the products that they want, and we would guide them on how much they can price, how much profit they can add to the product. But once they share it and they generate orders, Tendo actually fulfills the order, so we deliver to their end customers and send their profits to them. These resellers act as sources of truth and recommendations for the end buyers. Their desire really is to leverage on that community to generate an income.
From an earnings perspective, Tendo isn't providing the equivalent of a full-time income for their users. That's by design. They are one part of their users' portfolio of work.
Our average user base earns right now about $60 monthly. And I think it's significant because a lot of these users are using the income that they're earning on Tendo for very impactful things. So paying for fees, paying for their children, buying essential things that they need. But our idea is to find something that's very easy. They can do on their smartphone. They can do it while you're doing all their different other things. And then we can take the heavy lifting and just leverage on what they have, which is their drive, their skills, and the relationships that they've built.
Welcome back to Business Tech Guide on DGN. Today we're thrilled to have the CEO of Complete Pharma, Desmond Coney. Complete Pharma is an agri-tech company that connects farmers with global markets through a digital platform. They offer remote farm management, precision farming, and market access services. The company aims to boost agriculture efficiency, productivity, and sustainability. Desmond, hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so when you come here, we play some game, like quick rapid-fire questions. So I'm going to ask you them, and then you tell me. All right, so the first question is soil sensors or weather sensors?
Soil sensors.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
Can I ask why, or?
I think a lot of parameters in the soil determines the output of agriculture. I think when it comes to weather, it's really for more risk mitigation compared to what you have to do when you are taking data from the soil.
Oh, you know your stuff. I love that. Okay, so vertical farming or greenhouses?
I would say greenhouses.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so automated irrigation or manual watering?
I think automated irrigation.
You like that one? It's quick.
It's
easy?
quick. It's also, you could set it to give the plant the required water it needs, whereas manual, you may flood the plant as well. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. So, precision farming or traditional methods?
Precision farming.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then the last one is crop monitoring drones or satellite imagery?
This is a hard one. I would say I'd go for satellite imagery because it's cheaper. basically to achieve the same thing. But in terms of precision, I think drones are more precise because you could fly drone across a field and the confidence level in the data you get can be quite high compared to satellite, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So now we're heading into our main questions. So I want to know, tell us what Complete Farmer is to you.
Complete Farmer, what we've done is we've built a digital agriculture platform. Basically, this helps international agriculture commodity buyers to build their supply chain and source for agriculture commodities directly from African farmers.
Wow.
And these farmers use a lot of data precision agriculture technologies to be able to grow these crops and also meet the specifications of these buyers. So on the Complete Farmer platform, we have we have buyers from across the world who tell us, look, I need soybeans or I need chili peppers. I want a chili pepper with a certain Scoville unit. Scoville unit is basically how hot the chili pepper should be. And for a farmer, many farmers may know how to grow chili pepper, but may not know exactly how do I grow this chili pepper to meet these specifications. And so that's the work Complete Farmer does with farmers in Ghana to help them through providing agronomic protocols and also giving them the needed support for input to be able to grow to meet these specifications and then facilitate that market access as well.
Oh, wow. So what inspired the founding of Complete Farmer?
So my background is in mechanical engineering, and I think when I graduated school, I like to build stuff. And in Ghana, when you do engineering, you don't really get the opportunity to build. I got the opportunity to build some stuff in China at the time. And at the time, selfie sticks were becoming very popular. And in China, you'd see that people had converted their garages into factories. So you'd see a small garage and someone is manufacturing selfie sticks. And in the evening, they are shipping to the world. So I think as an engineer, it was a very interesting concept to see how small-scale production can feed global supply chains. And so, unfortunately, my dad passed away during this time, and I inherited his farm. But then that gave me the opportunity to also try to implement that model. So if you have a small-scale farm, and you can think of a farm as a factory, how do you go about farming to also feed global supply chains? And that's where in 2017 we started Complete Farmer. Basically, our perspective is farms are basically food-producing factories. And so we want these farms to have the same precision and efficiency as a factory would have as well.
Okay, so your dad passed, you inherited a farm, and then you built all of this based off of that.
Yeah, so the farm served as the initial trial. I remember on the farm, we basically collected a lot of data on different crops because we wanted to bring that manufacturing approach to farming. So his farm gave us the basis to start, where we had a place to experiment on different crops, collect a lot of data, develop crop production protocols, which now we assist farmers with in different parts of the country. So it was a good, I would say it was a good entry. We just wanted to do agriculture differently to what has been done in the past. Yeah.
Okay, so can you give us an overview of your agricultural solutions that you offer at Complete Farmer?
So for farmers on our platform, they are able to get what I mentioned, the data-driven protocol.
Yeah.
So what this data-driven protocol is it helps farmers know how to grow exactly to meet the same specifications. So an example is if a buyer, let's say an FMCG wants soybean to do baby food, they may want certain protein content in the soybean, they may want certain oil content. There are many farmers who can grow these soybeans but may not be able to know how do I get the oil content like these buyers want. So what we've developed is this data-driven protocol where it can tell the farmer how much fertilizer to apply to be able to get this content. And it's something that is very unique for each farm. You realize that in Ghana, everyone tells you, okay, buy NPK 1515, but we all have different soil. So your soil is different from the farmer next to you. So you and that farmer typically shouldn't be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And so you get a lot of generalized advice about how do you grow maize. And then someone tries that, he's successful, another person. What we give our farmers is customized protocol for their fields.
Okay.
So then every farmer knows what they need to do each day to meet the specific requirements of these buyers. But not just that, we also have like field agronomists who would come and help them diagnose the field.
Yeah, because I was about to ask that, like, how do you know?
Yeah, so we use satellite to monitor all these farms, and we are able to pick when there's pest infestation building up on all our farmers' farms. And in certain areas, our agronomists can be deployed to then go and help the farmer solve that problem. So we provide that monitoring as well on our platform. Another thing that we do is also to provide the post-harvest support. So the way we work is we have fulfillment centers close to these farmers. At each fulfillment centers, we have some level of mechanization. One of the crop we do is sweet potatoes, and usually our farmers harvest sweet potato with their hoes. So what happens is, because they are blindly digging out the sweet potato, they bruise the potato. And then it makes the products not conducive for export or for markets. And so what we are introducing at our fulfillment centers is where farmers can come and tell us, okay, it's time for harvest, and I need a harvester. And the harvester goes to their field, delivers the service, and they can get the sweet potato very wholesome. They are also able to bring this to our fulfillment centers. So the farmer doesn't need to worry about, how do I wash my sweet potato? How do I dry this? How do I package this? They bring it to the fulfillment centers, and that's where all this happens. And then the buyers are able to then pick up from these fulfillment centers as well. So giving farmers that post-harvest support makes their produce very competitive for especially export markets as well. And then the other thing is we also do provide some inputs and credits to farmers as well. So oftentimes you will see that farmers will tell you, or we give a protocol to a farmer and he needs a certain chemical, but no one in his vicinity is selling that chemical. So we are able to connect these farmers to input vendors and also provide these inputs to them sometimes on credit as well. Yeah.
That is amazing. Wow. So you use your digital platform to help these farmers. So I want to know, farmers in Ghana, we do the traditional farming.
Yeah.
How do you help them? Like, do you help them transition? Because I know smallholder farmers, you need to educate them. So what are the things in place?
So that's why we decided to build our fulfillment centers very close to the farmers. So all our fulfillment centers are actually in the rural part where the farming is happening. And what that allows us to do is we are able to set up demonstration fields, and we have training centers. So at the beginning of the season, we would invite all these farmers to the training center, train them on the protocol, and then set up a demonstration field. And usually we let the demonstration field lead their production by maybe a month. So a month before the season starts, the demonstration field starts. So then, because that production is ahead of what they are doing, at any point in the season, they can come and see, okay, what should I do? And that helps them also, because for farmers, to really get farmers adopting new protocols and new ways, they have to see what is happening. And so every year at each of these fulfillment centers, we have this training going on for farmers. And then we have the demonstration fields where they can come and see and talk to an agronomist and then know how to replicate that on their farms as well.
Okay, so I know that all of these things, it hasn't been easy because you started in 2017, right? And now we're in 2024. So what are some of the challenges you faced along the way getting here? I know there will be some challenges or a lot of challenges, but pick the ones that were a lot for you to handle.
I think given the way our business worked, initially we didn't think we had to build all the infrastructure to be able to export. And I think that was a big challenge in the beginning. Because for you to be able to be successful with our business model, it means that you need to be able to guarantee quality to the buyer. And guaranteeing quality in this market means a lot. It means the farmers having mechanization. So getting the infrastructure was quite difficult, was a big challenge. We recently started putting together our fulfillment centers. And before we were working with warehouses, and usually there's a lot of competition for these warehouses in the local community. So those were some of the initial challenges. And then data was a big challenge as well. When it comes to what we do, we rely on a lot of data to help the farmers make the right decisions. But there is no data source for many things currently. So we had to literally do our own experiments before, and that's why it's taking us so long, is we had to really, before you can tell a farmer, I can help you, you yourself need to know what you are doing. As well. So getting data to build these protocols has been very, very difficult. And so, but that helped us set up our R&D lab as well. And I think the other thing is just what has been difficult is, especially for farmers that we see on the platform, is just the cost of inputs. So there are when we speak to farmers, a lot of farmers have the land, they are able to produce more and be more productive, but the cost of inputs can be a very big determinant for the production. So actually on the platform now, we have more orders from buyers than we have farmers who can farm these orders. And that has always been our challenge. So a lot of international buyers come, hey, can you grow me this? Can you grow me this? And yes, the opportunity is there. The market is waiting and willing, but farmers just don't have the capital to be able to get the inputs they need to go into this production. So those can be quite challenging us.
Okay, so how have you rectified that? Because now you're booming in the business, it's 2024. So what have you, how have you done that?
Yeah, I would say, so we are still trying. These problems are very difficult problems. So we've basically been able to raise investments to also invest in building the fulfillment center. So all the post-harvest infrastructure we are building in the rural communities has been based on investments we are raising, just to make sure that in every community we go, there is impact. Okay. That every community we go, we want to be able to change the economic situation of that community with this fulfillment center and this post-harvest processing investments. And then we've been working with a lot of partners.
Yes.
We've been working with our banks and also partners to be able to provide farmers input on credits. And what we do to facilitate that is all the data we collect on the farmer, we are able to share with the bank to tell you, okay, which farmer is more credible. Okay. Based on which land is fertile, which farmer follows the protocol, which farmer gets the yield. So that basically creates a credit scoring system where banks are then able to see, okay, which farmer is credible and can finance those farmers. So those are some of the solutions we've put in place to be able to mitigate the challenges that we have,
Okay, so now you partner with so many banks now. Are you partnering with the government?
So we partner with Absa Bank. Okay. I would mention Absa Bank. They've been a key partner for us to work with farmers across the country. But we haven't really had much government partnerships, I should say.
Okay, all right. So Absa is doing great things here then.
Yeah.
All right. So the smallholder farmers, I know you have to educate them. So how do you educate them? Because I know that people are stuck in their ways, especially, how older people are and stuff. So how do you educate them? How do you motivate them to keep going?
So a lot of farmers are very passionate. Anyone who goes into farming is because of the passion they have and because it's a lot of hard work.
Yes.
What we do with farmers in the farming community is sometimes we even go to the communities with our banking partners, Absa Bank, to teach them things like financial literacy, right? And then we also sometimes partner with even health organizations to go provide health screening in some of these communities for these farmers. So I think the approach we take is to have a 360-degree view of the farmer's lifestyle, not just his agriculture. So we use our training centers for other things. Whenever we have a partner that can deliver some value, for instance, on insurance, then we bring them to the training center. they can educate these farmers on the use of insurance, even health insurance. Many farmers don't know
yeah.
about the health insurance scheme in Ghana. So we provide all these trainings.
You're giving them incentives to want to do it.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And even when there are new technologies that can also improve what they are doing, a lot of farmers need to be trained. For farmers, a lot of times it's really by seeing what this can do, and then that's when they get adopted. So I think we've really invested a lot in also these training centers and making sure any partner at all, anyone at all who wants to train farmers or even work with farmers can come to these centers and provide this training to these farmers.
You're doing a very good job. Wow.
Thank you.
And you mentioned imports and exports. I want to know how you got into that, and because you're saying that people are ready to buy. Even now, the farmers are not even supplying as much as the ready markets. So how do you do that? How did that come about?
So I think we go into the export. Everyone knows the export market gives you some leverage, right? It gives you the ability to earn more, and also in USD or in hard currency.
Okay.
So one of the ways we really want to make farmers competitive is by exposing them to these export markets. We've done everything to showcase what agriculture in Ghana looks like. So we do a lot of social media marketing.
Yeah.
We attend a lot of trade fairs across the world, basically to be able to get import buyers looking at what Ghanaian farmers can produce and building those connections. We even have like success stories where some of these companies are willing to invest back into these farmers. So some of these farmers have like a CSR budget where they want to be able to give back to the farmers or even buy tractors for these farmers as well. So that's really been the benefits of the export markets. But I think one of the things we really want to see is currently we export the raw commodities. At our fulfillment centers, what we do is maybe drying or cleaning, and then we export. But I think we need to get to a place where we are also doing the value addition as well.
Yes.
To be able to gain more value from the export market. So the export market hasn't really been the challenge. The guidelines to exporting are very clear. I think what the challenge is really getting the supply for us to be able to reach these markets.
You said the guidelines are really clear. So can you tell some of our viewers, give us some 2 or 3 guidelines so that you can help anybody who's trying to get into agriculture?
Okay, so I think anyone who wants to get into agriculture and looking for market access, I think you need to look at, first of all, the country of the buyer. So the first thing is also get the market specification. What does this buyer want? Most often you see people, like farming is like production. If I was going to sew someone a dress or manufacture a phone, I do some market research, figure out what the person wants before I go into the production. But it's only in farming that people start the farming because they think it's food, and at the end, anybody will buy. And then you end up seeing that people finish farming and there's no market. So first of all, I would say really understand the market and the specifications, because all these markets comes with specification. If you think about it, people are eating. The FMCGs are exporting and buying food every day. But the reason why farmers are not able to meet this demand is because of the specification. So meeting the specification is very important. Once you've been able to do that, the next thing is really finding out certifications as well. What are the needed certifications? So when food is going to Europe, maybe you need a Global GAP certification. So figure out what certification you need, and then what are those certification guidelines as well. The other thing is supply chain. You need to figure out, okay, how do I get what I'm producing from the farm to the ports and what time? So, for instance, Ghana pineapple was given a bad name in years past. Now it's much better, because what used to happen is that farmers will harvest this pineapple when it's not ripe, hoping that it ripes on the journey to Europe. Right? But what happens with pineapple is if you miss the harvesting time and you've not figured out your supply chain, it doesn't get sweet. So the pineapple will get ripe on the outside but because it's been cut from the parent plant, it stopped becoming sweet. And then it gets to the market and it's not sweet and it doesn't meet the specification of the buyer. So really being able to time when you need to harvest your pineapple such that it has that same level of sweetness, and then figuring out what supply chain moves this pineapple from my farm all the way to the port to the buyer is very critical. So those are just a few things that I would say that if you really want to look into the export market, you should really focus on.
Okay, so you mentioned a success story. I want you to give me one success story that really touched your heart as you helped a smallholder farmer.
So we have quite a lot of those, and you could also check some of them on our YouTube. But I think what's nice to see is when these farmers, I think people have the notion that smallholder farmers are poor. But I think working with smallholder farmers, you realize that these farmers have different things they prioritize, right?
Yeah.
And it's nice to see some of our farmers on our platform now able to pay school fees for their wards. And what you see is that when farmers earn money, they mostly invest in their farm or they diversify into livestock. So in the northern region, there's one lady where I think we've been able to do, I think, 3 cycles of production with. And instead of putting the money in the bank, she'd rather buy a cow.
Wow.
And then,
okay,
because she can milk the cow and make exactly
big investments.
And she's done this, and now you could see the head of cow she has, and then she keeps investing. So you realize that the impact of the smallholder farmer, if they are empowered, really helps to ensure food security because they would mostly invest in one aspect of agriculture or the other. And also then what you also see is they investing in their children education as well.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
You're doing very well because you're helping them. And so my last question to you is, what is the future looking like for Complete Farmer? Give us like something you've not told anyone, you've not put on your social media. Give us an exclusive.
I mean, we keep telling everyone what we are up to.
That's why I want you to give me something different.
All right.
Okay.
What's out there, we are trying to build the Amazon for African agriculture. So basically what we want to become in the next 5 years is a go-to place where people come to look for their food, and then a go-to place where people come to also try to sell the produce that they have.
Yeah.
And basically we follow that same model. We are investing in fulfillment centers. Very soon we'll be investing in our own logistic. And the whole purpose of the platform is really to see a world where everyone is working in a way so to ensure food security. So one of the key things that we've seen also on our platform is individuals like yourself who can come to the platform, lease their land, get a farm manager, and also go into their own production to meet a market demand. Wow. And so we really want to see in the future where farming is not just a title or an occupation, but it's a lifestyle. You can be an engineer, a lawyer, a journalist, and still call yourself a farmer as well. And that's really what we are trying to work towards.
Okay, that is amazing. Thank you so much, Desmond, for coming here, for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you very much.
I've enjoyed myself, and I'm sure our viewers have enjoyed it as well. We're going for a short commercial break. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Simple. Go bomb. Hanko bombe needing the tendo mami nchire mu nchire kojo chire we yete sane wako kejetia kwaji store na se wako makola kwaji store ba uti u download the app near friend Nintendo na sign it up nchire mana se minjai kojo chire sign up near simple app ni so ye free wa download we are sign app no mami nchire se ne obe use app we bi app ne we obe hu nyama bebre o sinti hwe ne ubetimi aton mi nchire mana kojo chire hu ne opese oton na fa profit to 25 cedi 50 cedis and 1 billion mi nchire mana kojo chire o do profit to so we na fa post ko social media Twitter Instagram Snapchat me use Twitter and you be click link no kwoto sa de na nipa zika man na mfa so ne pudon na beto account me za chire mana kojo chirem ko honum ne obehu bia fa wo de to so profit no wo dia some amu ni se convoy enye ka ba ko pa ne de ntimi hu yanam ko ka cha me na mfofo se say na ba nti wo mun download the Nintendo am ne make money me chire mana.
Opportunity Spotlight. Welcome back back to Opportunity Spotlight on Business Tech Guide, where we highlight the potential game-changing opportunities. TechCrunch Disrupt 2024 will be held on the 17th to 19th September in San Francisco, showcasing startups and tech trends. It's an excellent opportunity for networking and discovering new innovations. You can sign up at www.techcrunch.com. That's all we have today for our Opportunity Spotlight. Stay tuned. We're going for a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Business Tool of the Week. Welcome back to Business Tech Guide on DG, and this is the last segment, Business Tool of the Week, where we introduce you to the latest technology making waves in the business world. Today, we're exploring Notion. It is a versatile tech business tool that combines notes, tax, database, and project management on one platform. Here's a quick guide to using Notion. 1. Create pages. Start by creating pages for different projects or topics. 2. Add blocks. Use blocks to add text, tax, databases, and more. 3. Collaborate. Share pages with team members and assign tasks. 4. Integrate. Connect with tools and apps for seamless workflow. We hope you found the information insightful. Don't forget to join us next time for more news, interviews, and tools to keep you ahead in the ever-evolving world of business and technology. Until then, I'm your host, Nadia Chantel. This show is Business Tech Guide and is sponsored by Tendo Technologies. Thank you so much for sticking with us. See you next time. Bye. Introducing Business Tech Guide, where business and tech meets endless possibilities. Join us whilst we explore the latest updates in the world of business and technology. Do not miss out.